So this morning we are going to be dissecting decision making under uncertainty is another scope of risk and uncertainty. Like I explained to you in the class that so far we have dissected risk adjusted method. We talked about certainty equivalent method, expected value method, standard deviation, variance, and coefficient of variation. We talk about uh, sensitivity analysis. We discussed simulation. We also discussed the decision tree. We stopped in our last class. We stopped at the decision tree, and I combined FM and the performance management students. So the additional scope of risk and uncertainty is meant for performance management students. And that's what I said you should join online so that we'll be able to dissect the decision making under uncertainty. Now, the decision making under uncertainty is used, or decision analysis is used to evaluate alternative or projects where future outcome is unknown. When you don't know the future outcome and you cannot predict with past experience and probability of occurrence. So in this case, you are supposed to use decision analysis to appraise the alternatives, the alternative courses of action available. Now, what do you mean by decision analysis? Decision analysis is a systematic, quantifiable, and graphical approach to making strategic business and investing decisions by identifying and evaluating the various courses of action available and the selection of the most favorable outcome among competing alternatives. This is what we mean by decision analysis. Now, generally, the decision outcome at the end of the day will vary among different decision makers because every individual manager have a different risk appetite, right? Say, for example, if I have alternative A, B, and C, these are three mutually exclusive projects, and you have three different decision makers or three different investors. Each of these alternative A, B, and C, we have the risk, we also have the return. So as a decision maker, if I'm a risk taker, I will go for the alternative that produces the highest return with the highest risk because I'm a risk taker. If I'm a risk averse does not like risk. Therefore, I will select the one that produces a lower return and a lower risk. Then as a risk neutral decision maker or investor, I'm going to select an alternative that produces an alternative irrespective of the decision, irrespective of the outcome. As a risk neutral, I don't care whether the outcome is good or bad. Whichever one that comes to my way, I will accept it. That's a risk neutral. Therefore, as a risk neutral, I don't care what the future outcome will be. So whether good or bad, I'm willing and ready to accept it. So as a risk neutral, irrespective of a risk neutral does not seek or avoid risk. So he is willing and ready to accept any outcome that comes with it in any condition or state of nature. So that is what I'm saying, that the decision outcome arising from the same available information will vary among different decision makers because each individual decision maker have a differing risk appetite. All right, so that is for that. Now, what are the uses? What are the uses of decision analysis? Basically, decision analysis can be used for making decisions relating to strategy. All right, company can make a decision can use decision analysis to strategize on how to enter a market, or how to whether they should divest investment or enter into a new market. Please always mute yourself. Always mute yourself so that you don't disrupt the class.
What's on the plan?
Samson Akiniyi.
Hey,
Samson Akiniyi, mute. Always mute yourself.
I'm sorry.
Please. Tobiloba, okay, everybody, please always mute. If you want to ask me any question, just raise your hand. I will allow you to talk. So while I'm talking, I don't want to be distracted. Please always mute. Thank you. Now, so like I said, we can use decision analysis to make investing or business decision relating to strategy. All right. Not only that, if a company wants to carry out capital budgeting decision or capital investment decision, then you can also use decision analysis to do that. Again, you can use decision analysis, or you can apply decision analysis in making decision relating to risk management. So these are some of the areas of application of decision analysis. Now, what do you understand by what are the limitations, or what is the limitation of decision analysis? One key limitation of decision analysis is what we know as analysis paralysis. Because what do I mean by that? You know, when you have several alternatives, when you have several options available to you, you may get confused. You won't know which of the alternative that you should select at the end of the day, because you have so much options available. You will recall, for some of you that are very you are used to shopping frequently or oftentimes, you know, when you enter a boutique and you want to buy a dress, for example, the attendant may show you different kinds of dresses, okay, different kinds of dresses. Oh, Oga or Madam, this one is good. You can take this. It will show you another color. This one is good. This one is. So at the end of the day, you get confused. You won't even know which of these can I even choose. So you now ask yourself, you can even ask somebody, please, can you see, please let me check. Which of this one do you think I should buy? It's because you have so much information. That's what we also call information overload. So you have several options available. You won't be able to make the right decision at that moment in time. And this is one of the, this is the main limitation or disadvantage of decision analysis. So like I said, it is believed that due to several causes of option available, the use of decision analysis can lead to analysis paralysis because of too much of available information, and as a result, the decision maker will be unable to make timely and or not to make timely decision or no decision as a result of that. So when you have too much information or too much available options to you get confused. So that's the main limitation of decision analysis. Now, anytime you want to evaluate an alternative or a project, okay, anytime you want to evaluate alternatives, alternative courses of action, as far as decision analysis is concerned, you have to construct a payoff matrix table. This payoff matrix table has two sides. We have the horizontal side, we also have vertical side. When you are constructing your payoff matrix table, the decision variable or decision outcome, all right? Decision variable, okay? Decision variable or outcome must be expressed horizontally. This must be expressed horizontally. You are going to indicate this on the rules, all right? Why did state of nature? Remember, in our previous class, in one of our previous classes, I mentioned that state of nature represent the events in the economy or in the market. In the economy, you can have good, bad, worse, right? You can have high, medium, low demand. You can have optimistic, pessimistic, or most likely, okay? you can have boom, you can have a recession in the economy. So whatever the state of nature, as far as payoff matrix table is concerned, the state of nature should be represented vertically, okay? State of nature should be represented vertically. So that's basically that. As far as decision analysis is concerned, there is no how you are going to evaluate each alternative courses of action without using the payoff table, because you are going to need it. You are going to need it. In most cases, the table will not be given to you. And at times, in fact, the payoff value may not be given to you. You may be the one that will determine it yourself. So just note that anytime you want to construct your payoff matrix table, you are going to represent the decision variable. That is the alternative courses of action that you want to know. You want to know whether you should produce product A, B, C, or X, Y, Z. So that's your decision variable. You are going to represent it horizontally, while the state of nature, that is the event in the economy, should be represented vertically. So that is as per payoff table. And this is the format of the payoff table. So the company may want to know whether they should produce alternative A, B, or C. Each alternative will be affected with the state of nature in the market or in the economy. There can be good or bad for each alternative courses of action. So, like I said, before you begin to evaluate each criterion using any method that you want, you must construct the payoff table. It is the payoff table that you are going to use to then go ahead to evaluate each options available. Okay. Now, what are the methods of evaluation under decision making, under uncertainty, or under decision analysis? What are the methods? There are four different methods that you can use. Three of them are very common in ICAN, but we are going to talk about the four of them. The first one is Maximax decision rule. Second one is maximin decision rule. The third one is Minimax decision rule. And then we have Laplace Bayes. Okay, we have Laplace Bayes. So these are the four different methods of evaluating various courses of action under different alternatives. Okay, so let's talk about each of them. What do you mean by Maximax criterion? And when do you use Maximax criterion? So the maximum criterion consider the best of the best possible outcome from among different alternatives. Okay, it involves selecting the alternative that maximizes the highest payoff value. This particular approach, this Maximax decision rule, is mostly preferred by an optimistic decision maker. Okay, it's mostly preferred by optimistic decision maker who desire to maximize return. Okay, so let me explain this. Let's say, for example, you have alternative A, B, and C. You also have state of nature. State of nature X, Y, Z. These are the events in the economy, right? Let's say alternative A under X is 1,000. Alternative A under Y is 800. Let me just populate it. Here is 900. Okay, 700. 1,500. Here is 14, okay, 600, then 500. So these are the payoff values. Now, using Maximax criterion, the most important thing you need to, there are two steps. The most important thing you need to do, first step, is to select the highest value in each row. So using Maximax, okay, using Maximax, I will then come here. For the first alternative A, the highest value is 1,200 based on these hypothetical figures. So I will select maximum 1,200. In the second row, the highest value is 1,500. In the third row, highest value is 1,400. So I selected highest value in each row. Second step is to now select, okay, is to choose the highest of the highest value. In this case, I would then select 1,500. So this is Maxima's rule. This is how to treat Maxima's rule, because Maxima's rule is a criterion that is, that consider the best of the best, the maximum of the maximum possible outcome from among different alternatives, and it is mostly preferred by an optimistic decision maker. Okay, so that is what you need to do under Maximax. Then for maximin, maximin is a criterion that is used under a pessimistic the condition. I repeat, maximin decision rule is a criterion that is used under a pessimistic condition where a decision maker expects the worst to occur and the outcome cannot be predicted with degree of certainty. Okay, so when you don't know what the future outcome will be, you don't have any certainty of what the future outcome will be, then maximin may be more appropriate. So it involves whenever you want to evaluate an alternative using maximin criterion, you have two steps also. The first step is to select the minimum value. You are starting from as the name implies, maximin. You go to your right. First thing first, you start from the minimum value. You are going to select minimum value in each row. Then to make a decision, you then select the maximum value among the minimum value that I've initially selected. So as far as maximin criterion is concerned, it is mostly preferred by a pessimistic individual or decision maker. All right. Maximin criterion is mostly preferred by a pessimistic individual. All right. Who seeks to achieve the best results out of the worst occurrence. So you can read more on that. Now, let me show you as an example also. In this, my hypothetical figures, let's say we want to use maximin criterion. What's wrong with you? I'm cleaning his writing. Okay. I want to, yeah. So let's say we want to use maximin. We want to use maximin from these hypothetical figures. So what are you supposed to do under maximin? The most important thing that you are going to do is to, first thing first, using maximin criterion, you select the lowest number, the worst occurrence in each row. The lowest for alternative A will be 800. The lowest for alternative B will be 700. The lowest for alternative C will be 500. You then select the maximum of the minimum. So you make a choice. To make a choice, you select the maximum of the minimum. In this case, 800 is the maximum of the minimum. Therefore, the company should produce alternative A or product A. All right. So that's what you need to do under the maximin criterion. Let's move on to the next one, which is Minimax. The Minimax criterion is also known as savage regret. Okay, the Minimax criterion is also known as savage regret, arising from the opportunity loss through a bad decision. It is a criterion that minimizes the maximum regret. Now, this Minimax criterion is mostly preferred by a risk-neutral decision maker or a sore loser who wishes to avoid any wrong decision being made. All right. The Minimax criterion is mostly preferred by a risk-neutral decision maker or sore losers who wishes to maximize or who wishes to avoid any wrong decision being made. So anytime you want to evaluate alternatives using Minimax criterions, there are 5 procedures you are supposed to carry out. The first step is to identify the highest figure in each column. All right, you identify the highest figures in each column. Then step 2, you deduct the highest figures. You deduct the highest figure from itself and from other figures in the column. Then step 3, you construct a new payoff table, which is known as a savage regret table. All right. Then step 4, you step 4, you choose the highest value in each row. Then step 5, you select the minimum of the maximum value. Okay, so that's all you need to do. Let's say, for example, in this our hypothetical figures, if I want to use Minimax criterion, the first step is for me to identify the highest figure in each column. For the first column, highest figure is 1,400. For the second column, highest figure is 1,200. For the third column, highest figure is 1,500. Okay, highest figure is 1,500. Therefore, step 2, somebody is distracting me here. How are you? How are you this morning?
Hey,
Sorry, guys, let's continue. I have a little distraction here. Sorry. Okay, so you select the highest value in each column. That's what we have done. So step 2 now says you should deduct the highest figure from itself and from other figures in the column. So I will just say 1,400 minus 1,400, 1,400 minus 900, 1,400 minus 1,000. I will do the same thing for the second column. 1,200 minus 1,200, 1,200 minus 700, 1,200 minus 600. The third column, the highest figure is 1,500. Therefore, 1,500 minus 1,500, 1,500 minus 800, 1,500 minus 500. So whatever the answer I have after my deduction, whatever the answer I have, I will now put it in another payoff table, which is known as a savage regret table. Okay, I will construct a new savage regret table. After that, from the fourth step says you should select the highest value in each of the rows. All right, among different alternatives, I will select the highest value. Then to make a decision, I will now select the minimum of the maximum value. So this is what you need to know under the Minimax criterion, or under the Minimax decision rule. Now, the last one is Laplace. Taufiko, you are disrupting my class. Ungwachuku Chooks, please, everybody should mute. Don't leave your speaker on. Mute yourself. Ucha, please, everybody should mute. Now, the last one is Laplace-Bayes theorem. All right, Laplace-Bayes. Now, under the Laplace, it is also known as the principle of insufficiency or principle of insufficient reason. Okay? The principle asserts that equal probability of occurrence should be assigned to each state of nature if there is no available information about the probability of the possible outcomes. What we are saying is that as far as Laplace rule is concerned, you are supposed to assign probability of occurrence to each state of nature. And the number of probability you are going to assign will depend on the number of states of nature. Let's say, for example, you have states of nature X, Y, Z. That means we have 3 states of nature. In this case, you are supposed to assign 1/3. You assign 1/3 to the payoff value in each state of nature. So any alternative that produces the highest expected value is the one that should be selected. So this is what you need to do under the Laplace Bayes. So like I said, under Laplace Bayes theorem, you are supposed to assign the probability of occurrence to each possible outcome in the payoff table. And at the end of the day, any alternatives that produce the highest expected value is the one that should be selected. So that's all you need to do. Now, the final areas we are going to talk about, the final area we are going to talk about is attitude of decision maker to risk. Attitude of decision maker to risk is not in this material. Let me mention it because examiner can ask you. Let me look for a space. Now, before we go to attitude of decision maker, let me recap what we have done under the various evaluation criteria. I told you that to carry out decision analysis, there are 4 different evaluation criteria that you can use. Okay, there are 4 different evaluation criteria that you can use. Some of you are you will not listen. I told you to always mute yourself. You are still distracting my class. Jimmy, your speaker is on. Chooks, Nwachuku, your speaker is on. Please mute. So there are 4 different criteria that you can use to evaluate various courses of action or various alternatives available. The first one is Maximax, and I said that under maximal criterion, there are 2 steps you are going to carry out. The first step is to select the maximum value in each row. Then to make a decision, you now select the maximum of the maximum value. All right, that's what you need to do under maximum criteria. And then for maximum criterion is mostly preferred by optimistic individual who seek to select, who seek to the best of the best possible outcomes. Now, under the maximum criterion, again, you have 2 steps to carry out. The first step is to select the minimum value in each row. Then to make a decision, step 2 is to select the maximum of the minimum value. So the maximum criterion is mostly preferred by a pessimistic individual or decision maker, all right, who wants to achieve the best of the worst results. Okay, that is for a maximum criterion. The Minimax criterion, we said, is also known as savage regret. Okay, it's also known as savage regret criterion, whereby, of course, you are expected to carry out about 5 steps anytime you want to evaluate an alternative using Minimax criterion. The first step is to select the highest value in each column. Okay, then step 2, you deduct the highest value from itself and other value in the column. Then step 3, you construct a new payoff table known as savage regret table. Then step 4, you then select the maximum of each payoff value in each row. Then step 5, to make a choice, you select the minimum of the maximum. So that is what you need to do under Minimax criterion. Then the last one, which is the Laplace. We said that Laplace Bayes is also known as the principle of insufficiency, all right? Whereby you are supposed to assign the probability of occurrence to each state of nature. Okay, you are supposed to assign probability of occurrence to each state of nature, and we said that the probability you are going to assign will depend on the the number of states of nature. If you are given two different states of nature, that will be 1 over 2. Okay, if you are given 4 different states of nature, you are going to have 1 over 4. If you have 5 states of nature, you are going to assign probability of 1 over 5 to each payoff value in each of the states of nature. And at the end of your analysis, any option that produces the highest expected value is the one that should be selected. Any alternative that produces the highest expected value is the one that should be selected. So lastly, let's talk about decision attitude to risk. Let's talk about attitude to risk under this topic. Let me look. I'm looking for a space where I can do that. Okay. Let me just manage anyone. So, examiner can ask you to explain or to discuss attitude of decision maker to risk. There are 3 of them. Let me put it down. Attitude of decision maker. You can call it decision maker, manager, or investor. Okay, to risk. There are 3 of them. The first one, there are three different kinds of decision maker. The first one is risk aggressive decision maker. You can call it risk aggressive or risk taker. Risk aggressive decision maker. The second one is risk averse. Risk averse decision maker. Let me rewrite it. Let me make it clear. Then the third one is risk neutral individual. Now, what do you mean by risk averse? A risk averse decision maker is also known as a risk taker who seeks to achieve the highest return at the highest level of risk. Okay, so as a risk taker, you are less concerned. What you want to achieve is that you just want to achieve maximum return irrespective of the level of the risk. So, like the general saying that the higher the risk, the higher the return. So as a risk aggressive investor or decision maker, you want to seek the highest return at the highest level of risk. Okay. The second one is risk averse. A risk averse is a decision maker that do not like risk. Okay. A risk averse, I repeat, a risk averse is a decision maker that does not like risk. Such individual will select an alternative with a lower risk and lower return. Okay, because I don't like risk. So that again, which also corroborates the general saying that the lower the risk, the lower the return. So as a risk averse, since I don't like risk, then I will just go for I will go for the alternative that produces the lowest risk at the lowest expected value or return or profit. So that is risk averse. The last one is risk neutral. A risk neutral is an investor or a decision maker that does not seek or avoid risk. Such decision maker or individual is willing and ready to accept any outcome in any condition or state of nature. Whatever that comes the way of a risk neutral individual, he or she will accept it, because as a risk neutral, you don't seek or avoid risk. So you are willing and ready to accept any outcome in any condition or state of nature. So this is the attitude of a decision maker to risk. I repeat, a risk taker or a risk aggressive individual is an individual that seek to maximize return by taking a higher risk to achieve the higher return. The second one is risk averse. A risk averse does not like risk. Such individual will select the alternative with a lower risk and lower return. And the third one is risk neutral. A risk neutral investor or decision maker or manager does not avoid or seek risk. He or she will be willing and ready to accept any outcome in any condition or state of nature, irrespective of the outcome. Risk neutral is willing and ready to accept the outcome. Okay, so these are the attitude of a decision maker to risk. At this point, we need to have illustration. Let me know if you have any question for me before we begin to solve. Talk to me if you have any question. Like I said, if you want to ask me question, just raise your hand. I will allow you to talk. Okay? Any question? All right. So at this point, let's have illustration. Um, Let me see. All right. So let's have illustration to apply the learnings. Let's have illustration. We are going to have two illustrations. We will do illustration number 8. We will also do illustration number 9. Illustration number 9 is the last question tested by ICAN. I think it was May 2023. Question number 1B. Question number 1B. All right. So we are going to do the two together. There are two different scenarios. There are two different ways the examiner can test you under decision analysis. So we're going to pick it one after the other. All right, so let's start with the first one. In your material at your end, go to page 65, illustration number 8, under performance management. Okay? Yes, I will read for you. Or let me even see. Let me look for one of you to read. Taufiko, can you help us to read, please? Remember, you are my partner in the class. Yeah, read for us.
Okay, okay, sir. Zebrato Limited. Anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Zebrato Limited is planning to invest in three mutually exclusive products, A, B, and C, and has consulted you as a business advisor on the best alternative course of action. The available information shows that the company will earn 8 million naira returns during the blooming period on product A, while 2 million naira loss will be incurred on product B, and a 16 million naira returns will be achieved on product C. When the economy is steady, 1 million naira profit will be achieved on product A, 6 million naira profit on product B, and no profit on product C. However, if there is a recession, 10 million naira loss will be incurred on product A, 12 million naira profit on product B, and product C will earn 26 million naira profit. Required as a business advisor, which alternative should the company choose? Hint, use Maximax, maximum, Minimax, and Laplace criterion.
Thank you very much, Taufikat. So that is the question. Yeah, Chidiman is asking what page? Like I said, it's on page 65. It's on page 65 of the study material of performance management study material. So here examiner is asking you as a business advisor that which alternative should the company choose? Should the company invest in product A, B, or C? So I'll stop sharing this material. Just go to at your end, open to the material, page 65, performance management textbook. I study material. So let's solve. Now, to solve this question, the most important thing that you need to do is to first of all construct a payoff matrix table. Remember when I was explaining the concepts, the first thing you need to do is to construct a payoff matrix table. This is solution to illustration 8, page 65. Okay, performance management. Okay, the name of the company is Zebrato Limited. So the first thing that you are going to do, like I mentioned, is to construct a payoff matrix table. So I will then come here, payoff matrix table. Whether you are asked or not, that's the first thing you need to do. Remember, when I was explaining the concepts, in this payoff matrix table, you have two axes to it. We have horizontal and vertical axis of the payoff. For the horizontal, you are going to, the decision variable, the alternative courses of action will be represented horizontally, that is on the row. Why the state of nature should be represented vertically. So I will then come here. We have three courses of action, three alternatives. This is the product. So you want to know whether to produce A, B, or C. All right. Then after this, you need to indicate the state of nature. Remember what I said, state of nature is the event in the economy. In this particular question, in the economy, we have boom. Okay, we have steady states. And we also have recession. These are the three states of nature given to us. Therefore, I will then go back to the question to interpret or to convert the scenario given in the payoff table. So you are told in the second sentence in the question that the available information shows that the company will earn 8 million naira return during the booming period on product A, while 2 million naira loss will be incurred on product B, and a 60 million naira return will be achieved on product C. So we have 8 million, 2 million loss, and then 60 million under the booming period. Okay, so here is 8 million. Or maybe we should restrict our number to thousands so that to make life easy for us. I can come here to say in thousands so that to make it very faster, here will be 8,000, then minus 2 million, then we have 16 million. Okay. Then under steady, we are told that when the outcome, when the economy is steady, 1 million naira profit will be achieved on product A, 6 million profit on product B, and no profit on product C when the economy is steady. So 1 million, 6 million, 0. I will then go to understeady, 1 million, 6 million, then 0. I will go back to the question, the last one. We're not told further that, however, if there's a recession, 10 million naira loss will be incurred on product A, 12 million naira profit on product B, and product C will earn 26 million naira profit. So we have 10, 12, and 26. So minus 10 million, 12 million profit, and then 26 million profit. So this, we have represented the scenario in a payoff matrix table. Now, it is this payoff matrix table we then use to evaluate each alternative using different decision rules. So the first one given to us in the question is Maximax. I will then come here, Roman figure 1, using Maximax. Maximax criterion. Will the examiner use criterion or decision rule? So criterion. So using Maximax criterion. Okay. So what do you do? Under Maximax criterion, the most important thing you need to do is to select the highest value in each row. Then to make a decision, you select the lowest, the maximum of the maximum value. And we said that the Maximax criterion is mostly preferred by an optimistic decision maker. Okay. So you redraw the payoff table again. Alternative A, B, and C. Then state of nature. Under this, we have boom, steady, then we have recession. Then I will create additional column for Maximax. So here will be Maximax. All right.
Má bínú, bá mi náwó báàgì.
Ta ló ń náwó bag? Ọmọládé, you are the one tó ń náwó bag. I catch you, no worry. Oh yeah, now. So, using Maximax criterion, first thing first, I need to go back to the payoff table. I will repeat all the figures. Here is 8,000, 1,000, minus 10,000, minus 2,000, 6,000, then 12,000. The last one, 16,000, 0, then 26,000. So using Maximax criterion, the first step is to select the maximum value in each row. So for row, the first row, 8,000 is the maximum. Here will be 8,000. The second row, 12,000 is the maximum. Here will be 12,000. And row C, the third row, which is the alternative C, highest value there is 26,000. Therefore, to now make a decision, you are supposed to select the maximum of the maximum value. So out of 8,000, 12,000, and 26,000, 26,000 is the highest. Therefore, we select 26, which means that the company should invest in product C. Okay, so I will then come here. Zebrato Limited should invest in product C to maximize profits. Let me write that. To maximize profits of 26 million. Okay, so that's what you need to do under Maximax. The next one is maximin. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see if this plate can accommodate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I high. Maximin. Do the same thing. alternative, state of nature, we have boom, steady, then recession. We have maximin, alternative A, B, and C. All right. Okay. Again, we go back to the payoff table. We go back to the payoff table. For A, we have 8,000, 1,000, 8,000, 1,000, then minus 10,000. Minus 2,000, 6,000, 12,000. Then alternative C, we have 16,000, 0, 26,000. Our figures are in thousands. Okay. Now, using maximin criterion, you are supposed to initially select the lowest value in each row. Then to make a decision, you select the maximum of the lowest value. So in this case, for alternative A, minimum value is minus 10,000. Alternative B, minimum value is minus 2,000. That's the worst occurrence. Alternative C, minimum value is 0. 0 is also a figure. But when you want to make a decision, when you want to make the final decision, you don't consider the 0, just ignore it. Therefore, we have minus 10,000 and minus 2,000 available. So which of these two is the minimum? I need somebody to tell me which of between minus 10,000 naira and minus 2,000 naira, which one is the minimum? Oh, sorry, which one is the maximum?
Minus 10,000.
Minus 2,000, the maximum.
Maximum minus
Maximum is
2,000.
minus 2,000 because minus 2,000 is closer to 0 than minus 10,000. You are correct. So in that case, the company should invest in product B. Okay. So I will then come here. The company should invest in product B, considering the maximum or considering the best of the worst where to use Minimax criterion. Minimax. And I told you that using criterion, there are 5 procedures you are supposed to carry out. First thing first, let's complete our table. Alternative A, B, C. State of nature. So we have boom, we have steady, then we have recession. All right. Now, the rule says that you should identify the highest figure in each column. So I will then go back to the payoff table. From the payoff table, the highest figure in the first column is 16,000. You know, we restricted our number to thousands. So in the second column, the highest figure is 6,000. In the third column under recession, highest figure is 26,000. Therefore, that's step one. Step two says you should deduct the highest figure from itself and from other figure in the column. Therefore, without wasting more time on this, in the first column, highest figure is 16,000. So I would then say 16,000 minus 16,000. This will give us 0.
Yeah.
For alternative B, we have minus 2,000. Therefore, 16,000 minus 2,000. This will give us positive 18,000. Then for alternative A, 16,000 minus 8,000 naira minus 8,000. This will give us 8,000. Let me write this 8. Okay, so under steady, the highest figure under steady is 6,000. Therefore, 6,000 minus 6,000. This will give us 0. Under alternative A, it will be 6,000 minus 1,000 equal to 5,000. Then 6,000 minus 0 equal to 6,000. Then under recession, highest figure is 26,000. So 26,000 minus 26,000. This will give us 0. Then 26,000 minus 12,000 will give us 14,000. The last one, 26,000 minus 10,000. This will produce 36,000 naira. So step 3 says you should construct a new payoff table known as savage regret table. Let me rewrite this 6,000 here. Okay, so I will now construct a savage regret table. Okay, alternative. State of nature. Alternative A, B, and C. So we have boom, steady, then we have recession. Then I will then say maxi, minimax. Okay. Now, the figures that we have in step 2, we are going to put it in the savage regret table. So under boom, we have 8,000, 18,000, and then 0. 8,000, 18,000, 0. 5,000, 0. 6,000. 36,000, 14,000, then 0. Now, the rule says that step 4, you should select the highest value in each row. For row alternative A, highest value is 36,000,000. Row B, highest value is 18. Then row C, highest value is 6,000. You now select the minimum of the highest value to make a decision. Therefore, 6,000 is the minimum. So, therefore, alternative C should be considered. Product C, Zebrato Limited should invest in product C. In product C to minimize the opportunity loss. To minimize the opportunity loss. Remember, the Minimax criterion is mostly preferred by a sole loser, okay, who seek to minimize the opportunity loss of 6,000 naira. Okay, so that's that. The last one, number 4. Can this one accommodate it? Let's see. Number 4, we are to use Laplace. Laplace criterion. Using Laplace criterion, what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to apply, or you are supposed to assign probability of occurrence to each payoff value in each alternative, depending on the number of states of nature. In this question, we have 3 states of nature: boom, steady, and recession. Therefore, we are going to assign probability of 1/3 to each payoff value. So under alternative A, you then say the figure we have in the payoff table for alternative A is 8,000. Is 8,000. Okay, 8,000, 1,000, and minus 10,000. So I would then say 8,000 multiplied by 1/3 plus minus 1,000 multiplied by 1/3. Okay, plus, okay, let me give a space. Let me give a space. A equal to 8,000 multiplied by 1/3 plus minus 1,000 multiplied by 1/3. Somebody is sending charts. I will check. Just give me a few minutes. Plus, under the boom, under the recession, in the state of nature, in the payoff table, we have we have minus 10,000. Okay, we have minus 10,000. So here would be minus 10,000 multiplied by 1/3, probability of 1/3. I will get my answer. So let me go back to your question. Vivo is asking, good morning, sir. You are too fast. Oh, I'm too fast, okay. Hey, and can we rewrite? Can you please, let's see the table. Which table? Okay. Well, Vivo, I don't know. What's the name? Vivo. What's your real name? Vivo. Okay. You say I'm too fast, then I will reduce I will slow. I will go slow. Yes, Bukumi, talk to me. Bukumi, talk to me quickly. You raise hand.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm trying to understand where you got on that A, where you got your minus 1,000. Because on that steady, the figure there is 1,000.
Understudy in the payoff table. Oh, thank you. It's supposed to be 1,000,
Alright.
not minus one. Is zero? You know. Actually, you guys are supposed to be giving me the number. Not that I'll be switching pages. Okay. Thank you for that observation. It's 1,000, not minus. Yes. Who again? Please, I will advise you to always raise your hand and speak instead of sending message. I may not be able to. Not all time I will go to the message. Just raise your hand, speak up directly to me so that I can provide answer to your question. Okay, thank you for that observation once again. Sunola is also saying the same thing. Yes. For alternative B, I will go back to the payoff matrix table. For alternative B, we have minus 2,000, 6,000, then 12,000. Alternative B, minus 2,000 multiplied by probability of 1/3 plus, I think it's 6,000 multiplied by 1/3 plus, under recession, what do you have? Give it to me.
12,000.
Pardon?
12,000.
12,000 multiplied by 1/3. I will get the answer. Then I will move to alternative C. Under alternative C for boom, what do you have?
We have 16,000.
16,000 multiplied by 1/3 probability plus under steady.
We have
We have
0.
0.
0 multiplied by 1/3 plus under recession.
26,000.
26,000 multiplied by 1/3. So let's get the expected value for each of them. So you then bring out your calculator. You bring out your calculator. Remember, our figures are in thousands. So from your calculator, you open a bracket. 8,000 divided by 3. You close the bracket. Plus open another bracket. 1,000 divided by 3. Close the bracket. Plus open another bracket. Minus 10,000 divided by 3. Close the bracket, then press equal to. So this will give us minus 333. Remember, our figures are in thousand. Then we go to alternative B. You do the same thing. Open a bracket. Minus 2,000 divided by 3. Close the brackets. Plus open another bracket. 6,000 naira divided by 3. Close the brackets. Plus open another bracket. 12,000 divided by 3. Close the bracket. Equal. That's 5,333. 5,333. Then the third one, alternative C. Again, open a bracket. 16,000 divided by 3. Close the bracket. Plus open another bracket. 26,000 divided by 3. Close the bracket. Press equal to.
14,000.
That's 14,000. 14,000. thousand. You don't have anything to do. 0 multiplied by 1/3 will give you 0. All right. So any alternative that produces the highest expected value should be selected. So since 14,000 is higher, therefore the company should invest in product C. Okay, so that's that. So I would then say Zebrato Limited should invest in product C. Why? Considering, let me put it on the other side. Considering the highest expected value of 14 million naira. So that's it. That's end of the question. This is how you are going to carry out your decision analysis, okay, under each criterion. Okay, let me know if you have any question on this before we move to the most technical one. All right. All right, so if there is no further question, let's move to another illustration on this. Okay. All right. Let me stop sharing this. Now, let's have illustration number 9. Like I said, this illustration number 9 was tested by ICAN in May 2023, question number 1B. All right, so I need one of you to read. Let me see. Let me see.
I'll read, sir.
Okay, go ahead, Taufika. Go ahead.
Okay. Recently, Panorama Limited decided to open a small new apple shop in Owerri to be managed by a shopkeeper. The shopkeeper deciding on the number of boxes of special apples he hopes to buy each day. A box of apples earn a contribution of 400 naira and costs 250 naira. Demand of apples is uncertain and could vary from 30 boxes to 10 boxes. Any apple that is purchased but not sold will be thrown away at the end of the day. The shopkeeper has decided that he will buy 10 boxes, 20 boxes, or 30 boxes each day. And these are the only 3 options he wants to consider.
This guy, you're waiting for this
Required.
Who is this person? Promise. Aishora, you are not reading. You are not the one reading. Why are you making noise in my class? Promise you are still on. Please mute. Infinix X6528. Please mute yourself. If you are not the one reading, don't make noise in my class. You are disrupting it. Sorry, Taufika, you can go ahead.
Okay, sir. Required. Construct the payoff table for this business in Owerri. II. How many boxes should the storekeeper purchase if the decision is
Start
based?
from the third. Hold on,
Okay,
hold on,
any
Taufika. Start from the 3rd paragraph.
Any apple that is purchased
Yes, go
but not
ahead.
sold will be thrown away at the end of the day. The shopkeeper has decided that he will buy 10 boxes, 20 boxes, or 30 boxes each day. And these are the only 3 options he wants to consider. Construct required. Construct the payoff for this business in Owerri. II. How many boxes should the storekeeper purchase if the decision is based on the Maximax decision rule, maximin decision rule, and Minimax regret decision rule? Give reasons for your decisions.
Okay, thank you very much. Taufika. Now, this is the question. Examiner is asking you to construct a payoff matrix table. Now, the reason why this particular question is more technical is because of the fact that you are not given the payoff value. You are the one that will determine the payoff value. In the first one that we solved, examiner gave us the payoff value, the profit for each state of nature we are given. But in this illustration number 9, we are not given a payoff value. So you are the one that will determine it. All right. So you are told that in the second paragraph, you are told that a box of apple earns a contribution of 400 naira and a cost of 250 naira, which means that we are going to have a profit of 150 naira per apple. Now, the bottom line is that to construct your payoff table, remember, you are going to indicate the alternative courses of action horizontally. The state of nature will also be indicated vertically. What is the alternative courses of action? In this question, the company wants to decide whether to buy 10 boxes of apple, 20 boxes of apple, or 30 boxes of apple. Now, the state of nature is market demand. You want to know whether customer will demand for 10 boxes of apple, 20 boxes of apple, or 30 boxes of apple. Now, which means that we have 3 matrix, 3 by 3 matrix. That means we are going to have 9 possible outcomes. We are going to have 9 possible outcomes. So first thing first, to construct your payoff table, let's design the table and see. Then we'll now begin to do our calculation to put it in each box. Let me stop sharing this. You can open to the material at your end. So solution. So illustration 9. That's page, we are still on page 65, I think, of PM. Okay, so the name of the company is Panorama. Limited. All right, so like I said, in this question, we have, the company wants to know the alternative courses of action, that is the decision, is to decide whether to buy, let me do it this way. Okay, the decision is to buy either 10 boxes of apple, 20 boxes of apple, or 30 boxes of apple. Now, the state of nature. State of nature is market demand for apple. State of nature is market demand for apple. You want to know, customer will demand for 10 boxes of apple, 20 boxes of apple, and then 30 boxes of apple. And you remember, according to the question, we are told that contribution is equal to 400 naira per apple. And the cost that the company will incur to buy 1 apple is 250 naira. You know that contribution minus cost will give us profits. Okay, so what you are supposed to do here is that you are going to pair the demand with what you want to buy at each state of nature. This is what I want to say. Let's move on. To construct this tree diagram. To construct the payoff table, first thing first, you need to work out the payoff value. So I will then come here, payoff value. So to get the payoff values, you are going to pick the first column. Have I constructed the, okay, let me construct the payoff table first before the payoff value. This rain will not stop here since. So let's construct the payoff table. Here is alternative. Under the alternative, the decision is whether to buy 10 boxes of apple or 20 boxes or 30 boxes. Then the state of nature. The state of nature is market demand for apple. Under the state of nature, customer can also demand for 10 boxes, 20 boxes, or 30 boxes of apple. So like I was trying to say, what made this question to be unique is the fact that you are not given the payoff value. Therefore, you are the one that will determine the payoff value. So because we have 3 states of nature and 3 alternatives, that means we are going to have 9 possible outcomes. When you count each box, that's 9. We have 9 possible outcomes. Therefore, let's go and determine the payoff values. So working for the payoff values. So to get the payoff value, that is the profit you are going to put in each cell, you are going to less contribution from the cost. So that will give you profit. However, to do this, pay attention. You are going to select the first column. Remember, where you have contribution is where you have market demand. Where you have market demand is where you are going to make your sales, your revenue, right? So demand is where you have contribution. So you are starting from your column this time around. So in this case, you are going to pair the first 10 boxes with the 3 rows. When you are done with that option, you now pair the second column, 20 boxes with the 3 rows. When you are done with that, you go to the next one, which is you are going to pair 30 boxes with the 3 rows. That is, you are going to pair, let me put it down for you. Step 1. I know you like steps. You want it breakdown. So in step 1, what are you supposed to do? You pair the first column with the rows, with the 3 rows. That's the first step. The second step. So not in all cases that you are going to do it this way. At times, your revenue or your contribution may be represented horizontally. What will tell you where to start from, whether you should start from column or from horizontal axis, is if wherever your contribution lies or wherever your revenue lies, that's your starting point. Because contribution, you have to do contribution before you go to cost. You can't say cost minus contribution. It has to be contribution minus cost. And that's because in this question, contribution is represented vertically, and that's why we are starting from the column. We are pairing column with the rows. But if in another scenario, if contribution is represented horizontally, that means you are going to pair the row with all the columns, with all the 3 columns. You pair the second row with all the 3 columns if contribution is represented horizontally. But because in this question, contribution or sales or market demand is represented vertically. That's why we are starting from column to row. So step 2, you are going to pair the second row, the second column with the 3 rows. Okay. Then step 3. Again, you pair the third row, the third column. It's not difficult. Just know what you are doing with the 3 rows. So these are the 3 steps. So let's take it one by one. The first step, first column with the rows, with the 3 rows. Let's do the working on this. So first column equal to, in the first column, pay attention and look up. In the first column, we have 10 boxes. And to sell these 10 boxes, the company will earn contribution of 400 naira. So I will then come here, 400 multiplied by 10 boxes, minus, contribution minus cost will give us profits. All right, we want to determine profits for each payoff value. So to get to get profit, it is cost, it is contribution minus cost. Let me put it here for you. Profit equal to contribution minus cost. Okay, so let's go back. So to now determine, we have determined for the first column where we want to multiply, we want to deduct the first column from the 3 rows. So the first row is from our table. The first row is 10 boxes. All right. So the company will buy 10 boxes of apple, and customers are also demanding for 10 boxes of apple. So here will be 250 naira multiplied by 10 boxes of apple. So this will give us 400 multiplied by 10 is 4,000 naira. 250 naira multiplied by 10 will give us 2,500. Difference between the two is 1,500.
1,500.
Yes,
Yeah.
Bukumi, you raise hand. Talk to me quickly.
Hello?
Go ahead. Talk to
Hello,
me.
Yes, you said the revenue is contribution minus cost. I was thinking it's supposed to be contribution plus cost.
I did not say revenue is contribution minus. What I'm saying is that in this question, you are given contribution of 400. I was just using that one to explain. Right? When I say revenue, in this question, you are not given revenue now, but it is implied because market demand is also what the customer, that's what the company will say to the customer. So examiner has already deducted cost, variable cost from your revenue to get the contribution, right? So what we are doing is contribution minus cost to give us profits. Is it clear, Bukumi? All right. So in the second, again, you are going to remember, you are supposed to pair the first column. You pair the first column with the 3 rows. So we have paired the first column with the first row. So let's do it for the second row. Second row is 20 boxes. So I will come here, 400 multiplied by 10 boxes minus 250 multiplied by 20 boxes equal. Now, what do we have? 4,000 minus 5,000 will give us minus 1,000. Remember what examiner told you. You are told in the question that, let me check. You are told in the question that any apple that is not purchased, but not, so any apple that is purchased but not sold will be thrown away at the end of the day. Do you get? So what that simply means is that you've already bought the apples. So if customer does not demand for the exact apple, so let's say for example, in this second scenario, second pairing that we are doing, the company has already bought 20 boxes of apple, but customer are demanding for only 10. That means the balance of 10 boxes, that's 10 boxes of apple that is unbought or unsold, then the company will throw it away. That's why you are seeing a loss of 1,000. Yes, Ayomide, talk to me. You raise hand.
Yes, sir. You wrote first colon. Shouldn't it be first row, second row, and third row?
It's already showing in the heading. That one is just an indication. The first column you are seeing there is just an indication. You've already seen the heading that, okay, first column with 3 rows. We are pairing the first column with the 3 rows. I only put, otherwise I would have just say equal to. So the first column you are seeing there is just for indication purpose, not for anything. So we are just pairing the first column with the 3 rows. Now, for the third row, again, customer demanded for 10 boxes of apple. The company has already bought 30 boxes of apple. Therefore, 250 multiplied by 30. 4,000 minus 7,500. That's minus 3,500. There is a loss of 3,500 because the company bought 7,500 naira apple, but customer only demanded for 4,000. So there is a loss of 3,500. Ayomide, you still raise hand. Any further question?
No, sir. No, sir. It's a mistake.
Okay, then. Now, we then go and put in the numbers. Here is 1,500 minus 1,000 minus 3,500. So we are moving to the second column. We want to pair the second column with the 3 rows. All right, we want to pair the second column with the 3 rows. So I will then say second column with the 3 rows. Okay. We are now in the second column. In this second column, we have a contribution of 400. Remember, in the second column, look up. In this second column, customers are demanding for 20 boxes, but the company is only taking 10 boxes to the market to sell. The company bought only 10 boxes of apple. Therefore, you cannot meet with the customer demand. So you are going to restrict to 10. So contribution will then be equal to 400 multiplied by 10. Because you don't have 20 to sell, you only have 10 in the first row, minus the company has bought 10 boxes. So this will be the same thing as 1,500. We are still in the second column. In that second column, customers are demanding for 20 boxes. You have also bought 20 boxes to sell to the customers. So you are good to go. So here will be 400 multiplied by 20 minus cost 250 multiplied by 20 apple. So 8,000 minus 5,000 will give us positive 3,000. All right. Then in the second column, contribution is 400. Again, let's go back to the table. In the second column, you want to pair 20 boxes with 30 boxes. Customer are demanding for 20 boxes of apple, but we have taken 30 boxes of apple to the market to sell, right? Therefore, the extra 10 boxes of apple that is unsold will be lost. So you are going to restrict this one to 20 because customers are only demanding for 20 minus 250. You have incurred costs for 30 boxes. Therefore, 8,000 minus 7,500 will give us 500. And then the last one, you want to pair the third column with the 3 rows. So, starting from, this is the third column. You want to pair the third column with the 3 rows, 100. Multiply by, let's go back to the table. Now, before that, let's put in the numbers that we have gotten. 3,500. Here is 3,000, then 500. Now, in the third column, you want to pair this third column with the 3 rows. In the third column, customers are demanding for 20 boxes of apple, but the company has only taken 10 to the market. The company has taken only 10 to the market to sell. You cannot give what you don't have. Therefore, you restrict your contribution, the third one, to 10. So here will be 10 boxes minus the cost will be 250 multiplied by the 10 boxes of apple taken to the market. So here will be 1,500. Still on the third column, 400 contribution multiplied by, in that third column, customers are demanding for 30 boxes of apple. In the second column, you only have 20 boxes to sell. Again, you cannot give what you don't have. You have to restrict what you are going to sell to the customer to 20 that you have. Okay? So multiply by 20 minus 250 multiplied by the cost of 20 apples. So 8,000 minus 5,000 will give us 3,000. Then, still on the third column, 400 naira contribution multiplied by, go back to the table. You want to pair 30 boxes, customer demanded for 30 boxes in the third column. Then the company has taken 30 boxes of apple to the market to sell. So that means there you have what the customer are demanding for is what you have taken to the market to sell. Therefore, here will be 400 multiplied by 30 minus 250 multiplied by 30. So 12,000 minus 75, that will give us 4,500. So let's go and post it. Here is
3,000.
3,000 and then 4,500. So we are done. Now that you have the payoff value, you can then use any criterion or any decision rule to evaluate. So this is the only technical area. Anytime you are not given the payoff value, this is how you are going to do it. This is how you are going to do it. If you go to the golden book, you will see different scenarios there, different questions. All right. So at times, examiner may give it to you. You may start from your contribution or your revenue may be on the horizontal axis, while cost will be on the vertical axis. So it can come in either way. But for you to know which one you are going to pair, you must start from where you have inflow before the one you have outflow. So when you go to the golden book, you see different scenarios there. So let's move on here. Now, we want to use, now that we have constructed the payoff table, all right, we then you then need to determine you don't need to evaluate using different criterion. So the first one is Maximax. So Maximax decision rule. It does not call it decision rule, or let me see. Yes, decision rule. Maximax decision rule. Okay. Let me complete the table. We have alternative on the row. The alternative is to know whether to buy 10 boxes of apple, 20 boxes, or 30 boxes of apple. Okay. State of nature. The state of nature is market demand. Customer can demand for 10 boxes, 20 boxes, or 30 boxes of apple. And the technique we are using is Maximax. Criterion. All right. So here is 1, 5, 1, 5, then 1, 5, minus 1,000, 3,000, 3,000. Then we have 1, 5, no?
Minus
Oh,
3, 5.
minus 3, 5.
500.
Minus 3, 5. Okay, 500.
Then 4,500.
4,500. Thank you. So the next we need to do using Maximax criterion is to select the maximum value in each row. In the first row, all the figures are the same, so just select 1,500. In the second row, the highest value there is 3,000.
3,000.
In the third row, highest value is
4,500.
4,500. So to now make a decision, we are supposed to select the highest of the highest figure. So 4,500 is the maximum. So in this case, the company should buy 30 boxes of apple. So I would then say Panorama Limited should purchase
I'm coming.
30 boxes of apple to maximize contribution or to maximize profits of 4,500.
500.
So I'll go to the second one, which is Minimax. Sorry, Maximin.
Maximin.
Examiner call it maximum. Let me see. So Maximin, rather. Maximin. So Maximin decision rule. Again, we draw the table. Alternative courses of action. is to buy 10 boxes, 20 boxes, and then 30 boxes of apple under each state of nature. So like I said, state of nature in this question is market demand. So customers can demand for 10 boxes, 20 boxes, or 30 boxes of apple. $15. We pocket it. Move to the next one. Go and look for 85 marks. When you see this kind of a question on the day of your exam, in fact, it should be your first attempt. Because it doesn't take time. Once you practice, you get familiar with the techniques. It doesn't take time to solve. Just know what you are doing. Okay, so maximin. I don't know if this diet examiner will do it again because in November 2020, in 2021, decision analysis, this Maximax kind of was tested. Okay, in 2023, it was also tested. This is 2025, 2 years after. So I don't know whether it will come out. I'm just saying, So A is 1,500. No matter how simple is a question, if you don't know it, you don't know it. There is nothing you can do. All right. So 3,000, 3,000 minus 3,500, 500, then 4,500. These are the payoff values. So to determine, to using maximin decision rule, we are supposed to select the worst occurrence in each row, that is the worst figure, the least figure in each row. In the first row, all the figures are the same, just select 1,500. In the second row,
minus 1,000.
Minus 1,000 is the least. Then in the third row,
Minus
minus
3,500.
3,500 is the least. You then select, to make a decision, you then select the maximum of the minimum value. So 1,500 is the maximum of the minimum. Therefore, the company should buy 10 boxes of apple. Okay, I would then say the company should purchase 10 boxes of apple to minimize or to maximize, or let me put it this way. The company should buy 10 boxes of apple considering the best of the worst occurrence, okay, of 1,500. Okay, so that's that. And the last one, number 3, you have to use Minimax criterion. You have to use Minimax regression rule. So using Minimax regrets rule. Okay. Let me complete the table before we carry out the 5 steps. Under Minimax, state of nature. which is demand, market demand. Okay. We have 10 boxes, 20 boxes, and then 30 boxes. All right. Divide this one into 3.
Go back here.
So we have 10 boxes of apple demanded, 20 boxes, and then 30 boxes. Now look up using Minimax regret decision rule. The first step is to identify the highest value in each column. We then go back to the payoff table. In the first column, the highest value is 1,500. Therefore, 1,500 minus 1,500 will give us 0. Still in this first column, 1,500 minus 1,000. So that will give us 2,500. Okay. Then in the third row, still on the first column, which is 1,500 minus 3,500. This will give us positive 5,000. Now, in the second column, the highest figure is 3,000. So 3,000 minus 3,000. Here is 3,000 minus 3,000 equal to 0. 3,000 minus 1,500 equals to 1,500. Then the last one, 3,000 minus 500
2,500
equal to 2,500. Then in the third column, highest figure is 4,500. So here will be 4,500 minus 4,500 equal to 0. 4,500 minus 3,000 equal to 1,500. 4,500 minus 1,500 equal to 3,000. So step 3 says you should construct a new payoff table known as Savage regret table. So I would then say Savage regret table. Okay. Alternative. We are buying 10 apples, 10 boxes of apple, 20 boxes, and the 30 boxes. Okay. State of nature.
Okay.
Now, well done. Oh. Continue to make noise in my class. So, customer can demand for 10 boxes. 20 boxes or 30 boxes. All right. So we then put the results. The result of step 2. We put it in the salvage regret table. Based on our calculation, the first column is 0, 2, 5, and then 5,000. The second column is 1, 5, 0, 2, 5. The third column, 3,000, 1, 5,
Zero.
and then 4, 5, 0, 0. Sorry, that should be 0. Okay, so this is Minimax. That is, in step 4, you then select the highest value in each row. For first row, highest value is 3,000.
3,000.
In the second row, highest value is 2, 5. And in the third row, highest value is 5,000. To make a decision, you now select the minimum of the maximum value. Therefore, 2,500 is the minimum of the maximum. Hence, the company should buy 20 boxes of apple. Okay? I would then say Panorama Limited should buy 20 boxes of apple to minimize the opportunity loss of 2,500 naira. Okay, so that's it. That's end of the question. It's as simple as this. Just take your time, master the techniques, and solve practical questions, and you'll be good. Now, let me show you. Like I said, there are so many questions that you can test. Just go to the Pathfinder question and answers and go and be practicing it. There are several examples there. Let me show you some of the examples. Before that, let me know, do you have any question on this so that I want to switch? I want to switch. Any question for me? Okay, so we are perfectly okay with our calculation. Now, let me stop sharing this and then let me open the golden book so that I can show you other examples that you can practice. If you don't have the golden book, you can go to Pathfinder question. You see as many questions as possible there. Okay. Let me show you. All right. So we have solved this zebra tour. All right. So we have solved Panorama. Panorama was May 2023, question number 1B. We have solved that. Okay. There are other examples on this decision analysis in the material. So in 2024, ICAN also tested May Diet 2024, question number 1. All right, it was tested. Scudetto, if you have the golden book, or you go to ICAN Pathfinder question and answer, May 2024. So go and try that. Go and try it. All right. A very interesting question for that matter. This one is similar to the one we just solved under Panorama. They are similar. Okay. So like I was telling you the other time, in this case now, the decision, the alternative is represented horizontally. So like I mentioned the other time, Whether you are going to pair column with rows or rows with column, it will depend on where you have your contribution or your sales. In this particular example of Scudetto, all right, in this particular example of Scudetto, May 2014, question number 1, you see that the decision is to determine whether customer will demand for the selling price, whether the selling price should be 4,250, 5,000, or 6,500. So anywhere you have selling price, your cost will come thereafter. Therefore, the selling price is on the horizontal axis, while the state of nature, that is the variable cost, is on the vertical axis. So again, the same thing you are going to, in this case, you are pairing the row with the columns. You are pairing each row with the columns. So that is for that. Again, if I don't want to do all those step-by-step pairing this with that, I can also use another format. This is another format that you can, I'll have two different formats in the solution material. So you can go ahead, test any one that is more convenient for you. All right. I want to show you another example. This one, I can't remember the diet, but again, just ensure you go through it. Ensure you go through the material. Ensure you go through the material. And then there is one more last question I want to show you, where examiner painted scenario, you are now asked to explain. You are asked to explain the attitude of decision maker to risk. Yes, in 2021 November diet, question number 6. Look at the scenario examiner has painted for you. All right, a scenario was painted. You are given the payoff table. All right, you are given the payoff table. An examiner is now asking you, note, no calculations are required. You are only required to explain 4 methods that could help Mr. Johnson to decide which marketing package to choose. Your answer should include 3 methods to deal with uncertainty. What are the 3 methods to deal with uncertainty? The first one is Maximax. Second one is maximin. The third one is Minimax. If you want to add one more, Laplace. So examiner is asking you to explain. You have to explain those methods. Your answer should include 3. So after you have explained, so you then tell Mr. Johnson what he should do under Minimax, under Maximax, maximin, Minimax. You know, we said under Maximax, the company, the decision maker should select the highest figure and then the highest of the highest. That is Maximax. Under maximin, you select the minimum value of minimum payoff table, then you now select the maximum of the minimum for decision for you to make it the choice. Then under Minimax, okay, you carry out those 5 procedures. So this is what the examiner is asking you to do. Then you're also told to take one method to deal with risk. You know, there are several methods of mitigating risk. We have expected value method, we have standard deviation, we have coefficient of variation, we have simulation, we have sensitivity analysis, we have decision tree. Examiner say you should only mention one, okay? You should explain only one method of dealing with risk. Then you can use any one of them. All right, so I will show you how I treated the question later on, but I just want to give you an overview. Then, finally, for you to be able to earn these 15 marks, you're also asked to explain the attitude that will be associated with the decision maker using each of the 4 methods. So what is the attitude of the decision maker? All right, I've already explained to you earlier today. We have a risk taker, we have a risk neutral, we have a risk averse decision maker. What are the attitude of each of them? So this is how I explain it. So you can go through the material and have others. You can see this one does not require any calculation. Examiner just wants you to demonstrate that you are knowledgeable, that you know what you are doing, you have the experience. You can, so show me, demonstrate that you have read so much. Then what are those things that you have read under decision analysis? Come out and explain to me. I'm your student. Examiner is telling you, now I'm your student. You are the teacher. Come and show me, right? So that's why you need to, you now begin to explain all what you know under Maximax, all right? Who's kind of which kind of decision maker or investor prefer Maximax criterion? You know, is an individual, is an optimistic individual that uses Maximax. The maximin is used by a pessimistic. Minimax is used by a risk neutral individual. All these things is what examiner is asking you. So this is the way I explain it. Just talk about each of them, and then you are good to go. All right, you are good to go. So that is that. Then on the method of dealing with risk. So if you like, after you have explained risk, then you now talk about method of mitigating risk, which is expected value method, standard deviation, sensitivity analysis, coefficient of variation, simulation, or decision tree. These are some of the methods of mitigating risk. Again, it's not just about you listing them. You need to explain, what do you mean by expected value? Which investor or decision maker prefer expected value? So I've explained to you when I was taking you risk and uncertainty. I explained this. The expected value method is mostly preferred by a risk neutral decision maker who is not avoiding risk, or who is not avoiding or seeking risk. And a risk neutral, we accept any condition, we accept any outcome in any condition or state of nature. Okay, so that is for that. Standard deviation, you talk about standard deviation too. How do you use standard deviation to hedge risk? So you talk about that. You talk about sensitivity analysis. What is sensitivity analysis? What are the variables? All those things. Talk about it. Hey, on the day of your exam, nobody is asking you to go and be listing all of these. Examiner says you should just mention one. Anyone that you know that you can express very well is the one that you should consider. All right? Don't go and be doing too much. Oh, because you know so much, you have read so wide, then you now begin to show skill. You are just wasting time. This is 15 marks, right? Within the next 5 minutes, between 5 and 10 minutes, you are done. Move to the next one. Go and look for pocket the 15 marks. Go and look for additional 85 marks so that you can win your prize. You can win your prize on performance management, 100%. Who says you cannot achieve 100% in PM? You can do it, right? Okay, now. So the last area of the question is for you to, examiner is asking you, all right, examiner is asking you to explain the attitude of decision maker to risk. I've already done this earlier today. The attitude of a decision maker represents the risk tolerance or risk appetite of the individual manager or investor. This can be categorized as follows. The first one is risk taker. Risk taker is also known as a risk-aggressive investor or a risk-seeking decision maker. This kind of investor is happy to take high risk, provided a high return can be achieved. All right? The higher the return, the higher the risk. So, as a risk taker, I'm going to select any alternative that produces the highest expected value, and then at the same level of risk, that is highest risk. Then the second one is the risk-averse investor or decision maker. This is an individual investor who does not like risk. As a risk-averse, I do not like risk, and as a result, I will always select any alternative that produces a lower risk with a lower return. That is, the lower the return, the lower the risk. Okay, and the third category of decision maker to risk is the risk neutral. As a risk neutral, I do not seek or avoid risk. I am willing and ready to take risk irrespective of the outcome. As a risk neutral, I'm not running away from risk. I don't look for risk, and then when the risk comes to me, I don't avoid it. That is a risk neutral. So he or she is the difference about risk taking. Hence, a risk neutral individual will always accept any outcome under any condition or state of nature. So this is the attitude of a decision maker to risk. This is attitude of a decision maker to risk. All right. So this will be the end of a decision analysis. So for the PM students, all of you, in our next class, we have only one topic left under performance management, which is learning curve. So in our next class, by weekend, by the grace of God, we are going to spend about 2 hours to discuss learning curve. Then thereafter, I think I need to inform the FM student to join us. FM student will join by 11 o'clock. Yes, they are going to, no, sorry, but they are going to join us by 12 o'clock so that we are going to spend, is it 1.5? No, 1.5 hour will not be sufficient. So they will join us normal time, 1 o'clock. So that after this coming weekend, going forward, we are going to be having FM from the second period for 2 periods. Okay. So that will help us to recover all those things that we have lost, all those outstanding scope that we have in FM. Sorry to bring in FM in the PM class. I just want to mention that. So, like I repeat once again, we have only one topic left in performance management, which is learning curve theory. It's very straightforward and simple. Within 2 or 2.5 hours, we are done. So in our next class, that's what we are going to do. And that means once we are done with learning curve, that's end of performance management. Then, so that will be that. So let me know if you have any question for me so that we can close the class. Okay, let me see. Let me stop sharing. All right. So, Omolade, are you still here or you are attending by proxy? Omolade?
I'm still here, sir.
Okay, then. Yes, Precious. Is that my Precious in
Yeah.
Solo?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
So when you are coming on Sunday, ensure you bring my own goodies. You know, you went for somewhere on Sunday. Last Sunday, you did not attend my class. So there's consequence for missing my class. When you are coming, make sure that thing you were given in where you went to, that occasion, bring my own too. Yes, Infinix X. Who is Infinix X? What's your real name, please? Infinix X6528. Yes, talk to me. Okay. ITEL 6671L. What's your real name? Talk to me too. Okay, I think you are attending by proxy. Yes, Balikis Isolo. Balikis is representing Isolo. Talk to me. How are you?
I don't have any questions, sir.
Okay,
I'm fine,
I'm not
sir.
talking about, I just want to greet you.
Okay, sir. I'm fine,
So
sir.
because we are done with our class, I want to greet every one of you once again. Yes, Oboseye, VI, you are representing VI. Are you still there or you are representing by proxy?
I'm still here, sir.
Okay. Temitope Sulola, you are representing Isolo. Yeah. Good morning. Nnedi, that is my Miriam. Miriam, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. I'm attending by proxy.
Your own. Yes, proxy Nnedi. True. Yes, I also have Omoni representing Isolo. Omoni.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. Anu Oluwapo, Olugbode. I think you are representing VI, right? Or Isolo? Okay. Yeah. Okay then. Mr. Obi representing Isolo. I've not heard your voice this morning. I called you earlier today. You did not talk to me. You don't speak. Are you attending by proxy, Mr. Obi? Okay. I also have Sulaiman,
I hope you heard
Abdulaziz.
my voice.
Yes, I can hear your voice now. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm happy to hear your voice. Yes, I also have Mustafa Yunusa. Yeah. Axis.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Mustafa, good morning. Axis.
Active, sir.
Axis reminds me of your name again.
Aziz.
Aziz. Oh, now wow. Aziz has turned to Axis. All right. So I have Ucha. Ucha, baby. How are you this morning? Ucha, how are you? Okay. Chooks, Nwachukwu.
Very well, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
morning.
Thank you.
Nwachukwu, I've been calling your name since.
Available, sir. Good morning.
Okay. You are representing VI.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Femi David. Femi David, talk to me. Are you actively participating or you are representing by proxy? Okay, I'll move to Victorious. Victorious.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, David, good morning. Victorious, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, which center are you representing? Isolo or VI?
Sir?
Are you representing Isolo or VI?
VI.
Okay, then HP. Who is HPS?
Good morning, sir. Success.
Who?
Success from Solo.
Success. Success. I wish you success in your November 2025 exam. Yeah, I also have Zoom user. Who is Zoom user? Yes. Zoom user. Well,
Good morning, sir.
good morning.
It's Peace from Solo.
Peace. Peace. Chineye. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
Good morning to you. You have been quiet, because I'm not seeing you face to face, but it's understandable. Ogechi, baby. Ogechi.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning
Eunice.
to you. Good morning
Eunice.
to you. Yes. Abel. Oh, you are the Vivo that was asking the other time that was your real name. Okay, you said I was too fast. Hope you are able to follow along thereafter. Sorry about that. It's my nature. I've been trying to talk slow, like one of the comedians would
Sir,
say.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Oh, Intel 6 is Blessing from the Solar. Oh, Blessing, Yalaje. All right. My crunchy seller. Okay. Then I have Korede is the class rep in Isolo. How are you, Korede?
Good morning, sir.
This your agbada, I like it. Can you make one for me? Make one for your teacher now. All right. Yes, Titi Layo. Good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. I think I've covered some of you, almost every one of you. Please, if I have not mentioned your name, forgive me. We have to close the class now. So thank you, everyone, for making time to join the class. By the grace of God, we are going to meet this coming weekend when we shall be completing performance management lecture for this diet. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye, and have a good day. Then, happy anniversary to Nigeria. Today, Nigeria is 65 years old. Happy birthday to Nigeria. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.